This
Yes.
meeting is being recorded.
So, Vidang, how's everything? How's life going on? What's going on
Yes,
in
sir.
it?
Everything is going perfectly fine.
So, give some brief introduction. Even though I have evaluated your CV, you have different achievements, mashallah. So, since still it's better if you can explain about your personality. So, give a reason to people to hire you actually, not only to us, even to others. Whoever can pay
Okay.
you deserve to hire you.
So, good evening, sir. Myself, Vedang Bharadwaj, and I'm from India, Rajasthan, and Ajmer. Currently, I'm pursuing my Bachelor's of Technology in Fire and Safety Department uh, from Madhya Pradesh with an aggregate of 8.3 CGPA till my seventh semester. Coming upon my achievements, I have done my NIBOSH IGC exam in 2020, August 2020,
Uh,
and recently in February 2021, I have completed a lead auditor course, ISO 45001 2018 lead auditor course. And coming upon my interest, I like to play basketball, uh, uh, and if I talk about my extra activities and mm, like in about my strength, I have a very good observation skill. According to me, I have a very good
Perfect,
observation skill.
perfect. And that's as a safety professional, you truly have to be keen observer because
Yeah.
everywhere, if you want to join a safety profession, then definitely you have to be deep observer because wherever you will be moving around, you're identifying a lot of hazards, risks, and the behavior or like unsafe acts or even unsafe conditions in other words. So that's
Mm,
pretty cool. That's really much important kind of skill we require. And if you have naturally that one, it's perfect.
Thank you, sir.
So, what do you think, about your vision of life, where you are leading your life after 5 years or 10 years? What are your dreams? Even
We,
though we don't share our dreams, but at least one dream you can share openly. That what do you want to
uh,
see yourself after 5 years or 10?
Uh, if I talk about my professional life, then I would like to see myself like uh, a successful person in my eyes. About if I am able to fulfill all of my family dreams, I am capable of fulfilling their dreams and basic needs. That would be enough for me.
Okay. So you have a very moderate approach because sometimes we say, "Oh, I have a lot of dreams," but we don't talk about our family. So that means you are kind of a family man, right?
Yeah, you
Okay.
sort of. Yeah.
So in Bosch IGC, how was your learning? I mean, what key elements you have learned, and you believe these are the skill set which can, encourage us to hire you.
First of all, my favorite element of Nibosh IGC is how we can create a positive environment in the workplace, and the positive approach of doing all the work, and the how to implement the positive culture in the work. And then there was one more element which is briefly described about the accident and investigation. Yeah.
Okay. So once we talk about culture, it's directly linked with the mindset. So are you a change ambassador? Do you think you can be a better change ambassador by changing the minds of people and making them, productive for the company and making them like kind of a safety manager of their own area? So are you
Uh,
going to be capable for
uh, I will try my best to to convince them about the safety, about the responsibilities of individual. So by communicating with the individual and approaching them,
But,
and
but
yeah,
that means it's all about positive approach, right? Motivating
yes,
them and having one-to-one counseling or do some action programs or having some
yeah, I will.
okay, go ahead.
I will tell the benefits of using that personal protective equipment, so that PPEs, so that they can reach safely at the end of the day by work. Uh, yeah.
Okay, so imagine if company is facing, the rise in accidents and injuries, and now truly they want to hire you. With what kind of plan you will join this company, like from the day one to onward, how you will start, because injuries graph is going up and accident graph is also going up. That means customers are not happy. That means business is shredding up, you know. Even the legal compliance is a terrible issue. Might be the company will close out or shut down, if they don't comply because safety is kind of a legal requirement. So, as a safety leader, what do you think? What would be your starting point from day one to on? Even though uh, you also have to manage yourself, right? Your
First of
emotions
all,
or
I
your
will Yeah. First of all, I will take a brief tour of the organization, of the whole organization, and try to observe what the drawbacks are going on, and then then after a couple of days of my observation, I will go through the company's policy and check what are the motive of the policy, and what are their objectives. Then if there is any change that I think it must be there, then I will implement that changes.
from the
And
day one you're talking
if
about, or that's you're
no,
talking about for the
after
day one.
yeah, I'm talking about the step by step procedure. Like I first of all
Okay.
I will take first of all I will take a tour of that organization and try to understand the company's culture. And
Mhm.
then after some days, like a couple or two, a couple of 3 days, I will go. I will briefly see the company's policy. Then, if there is any limitations in the I observe in the company policy, I will change it and convey to all my colleagues or the all my the work co-workers and I will discuss them if this can be implemented or not. And then after the documentation work, after completing my documentation work, I will uh, I will inspect every machinery, or if they required a new machine, or if the work on old machine. So I will
Okay.
completely investigate the uh, machinery.
Perfect, mashallah. So at this stage, what do you think, as per your perception, what is the purpose of safety policy, or what is a safety policy? Like, everywhere we have on the walls, notice boards, websites, you know, it's well signed, well displayed, um,
Uh,
with date and VN number and everything. But what is the purpose, why that safety policy is established?
like if we talk about theoretical, that what is a safety policy, then safety policy is like a legal and social requirement to be it is a compulsory thing to provide a safe workplace or a safe environment to the company. So it is necessary to display the policy so that everyone is well aware of what they are doing, or they will get familiar about their responsibilities for their work.
So that means, I always encourage to the companies consider safety policy as a kind of promise you have made with yourself,
Yeah,
with your all stakeholders, and it's not like just signing a policy. What is uh, basically it's kind of a framework also. It's a direction.
yeah,
It's a direction with a positive mindset that you are a responsible company. You will take care of your people, the environment, the business, the assets of the company, of course. And then, of course, through this policy structure, you will link with the business expansion plans and growth plans, business continuity plans,
yeah.
and
It is a kind of
manufacturing
like
quality and
communicating.
exact. The ultimate goal is the quality, productivity, and profitability, and the goodwill graph of the company should go up. And it can only happen if all four pillars are secure enough. Because sometimes one
Yeah,
accident can destroy everything, right? So
yeah,
perfect plan, because policy is a starting document. I mean, and that's kind of a top management commitment also, because they are the one going to sign it. Now imagine if a company management is not ready to provide you the budget, because since you're talking
yeah.
about a lot of changes, a lot of things to be implemented. So how are you gonna convince them, to give you like you need imagine $100,000 for 2023. So just for safety, uh, system implementation, or including PPs and everything, whatever your HSC plan is there, in line with the safety policy. So how are you gonna convince them to get that budget?
First of all, I will prepare like a strong, like I will prepare in the distinguish between which is need to be necessary and which can be or cannot be, whose present can be cannot be is then which is necessary. I will talk to the like department about this things are like must have in our organization. So I will prepare my budget accordingly, and like I will try to convince them like if the budget I have if the budget is like I want some extra money, and I will put by myself and by my department, and like I will, but I will like try to convince them like do not negotiate with the person's life, like the company's reputation is directly or indirectly linked with the accident, so do not try to
Okay,
compromise with that.
let me put something in kind of a scenario. Imagine there are 20 machines, and out of 20 machines, three are uh, terrible because mostly hand injuries or mostly oil spillage, and even some sort of suffocation, and because of the fumes or smoke coming out of this machine, is terrible. So your recommendation would be like to change the machines, or how you like you recommended them to eliminate all three machines and buy the new ones, and then the budget is not $100,000, might be $1 million. So but of course, you are telling them the right way, because the hazard should be eliminated, and hazards can be eliminated by eliminating, the bad things
Mhm.
out of your system. But sometimes it's not feasible. Company fails, it's a huge loss for them, and also a regular production they're getting something is better than nothing. That's what they believe. So in that scenario, how are you gonna convince them? I'm giving you a little
Yeah,
bit tough time, so scenario based, because the
yeah,
interviewer, you never know how they can give you some. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, initially I will do my own work about I will go through the machine, and like in what department that machine is like use is that machine. Then like if there's another way, or like if we talk about hierarchy, then like if there is any substitution about that machine, then I will totally try to implement that substitution. But if that's the only way of doing that job, then I will convince them, I will like hardly convince them to change. I will force them, and I will like I will tell them to do not compromise with the families they are working. They
Okay.
have a trust. I will try to emotional them,
And what
emotional
if they
them.
say, okay, thank you very much, find another job? We
Then
need
I
a
will
flexible safety at least.
satisfy myself that I was right. I was right. I do not compromise with anyone's life. I do not want to be responsible for their loss. That would be a guilt for me for rest of my life. So I will quit that job happily.
So what sort of documentation you will apply, to convince them? Will you like review the risk assessment and put all three machines under red zone, like, with some numbers?
Yes, I will go through the past records of accident, and I will prepare all the records of the on the past accidents, and I will tell them what if do now what will happen. I will try to like uh, I will try to let them know, let them imagine that what will be happen if no action is taken right now, what will
Okay,
be the result of it, long-term result. So yeah, I will prepare the whole chart and try to explain them with the best way I can.
perfect. So until now, have you ever tried to write any safety policy by yourself or writing some procedures by
Actually,
yourself?
not actually. Just I have mentioned earlier that I am still a student, graduation pursuing student. I just have uh, a I prepare a risk assessment report in my IG examination, and I have prepared an audit report of my college, of my
Oh,
university.
mhm.
Yeah,
No, you have been working with one of the airport also. Like you completed one internship there, right? So
yeah, yeah.
what type of projects you were involved there, at the airport?
Basically, at airport, I was the training. I was a trainee and a fire department and safety
Okay,
department.
fire and safety department. So
Yeah.
mostly responsibilities they gave you on a day-to-day basis. Uh, can you list a few, like like you were doing
Like
fire safety inspections or kind of safety inspections, or what you were doing?
like someday I have my routine starts. I have to inspect the runway. uh, there's a term in in aircraft aviation department, they called a foreign object, which can be anything.
Oh,
So the runway is fully inspected before the landing and after the takeoff of any flight.
so have you seen
So
any bird prevention kind of strategies there? Bird prevention hazard analysis or kind of controls? How are you gonna prevent the airplane from, the birds actually? Have you seen any sort of documentation like this?
actually, the bird is an animal, so they can fly whenever they want. So,
No, so there wasn't, you
but
didn't
they were
notice like any technology they are using, to keep the birds away from the plane, right?
no,
I'm
I
giving
didn't.
you some
Not.
new food for thought, right? Might be the new areas to think. And secondly, let me mention here, there is a terrible misconception that the moment you will get a job, then you will start learning. Before going for the job, it's much better to start practicing how to write a safety policy, how to prepare a safety procedure, how to prepare some formats in a structured way. Like if I tell you, okay, hot work permit, can you prepare a format for hot work permit with your mind, with your brainstorming? So this all can be done without a job. But the moment you have a better practice with all these things, job is like this, because your skill set is grown up, right? Like if you do risk assessment and you imagine, okay, risk assessment for oil and gas industry, what can be there? You start writing and you start imagining, right? You start
Yes.
going on YouTube because knowledge is everywhere now. So
Yes.
then you start construction industry or the industry you love to, you are more passionate about. Then automatically, linked to that industry, you start practicing a lot of documentation, before even you go for the job, because that's called proactive approach also. And I'm
Yes.
encouraging, to my audience, to be very honest, I'm just motivating them again and again. Why you always wait that something would happen and then you will, or the moment you will be on job, then you will start learning.
Yes.
Like if you are an engineer, like 3 years required. So within these 3 years, why can't you join any company for 1-2 hours every day, or create your own company in your mind and start practicing, the engineering tools. And the moment 3 years degree will be in your hand, the complete 360-degree concepts would be very clear. And that's what the industry is looking for. You know, they're not
Yes.
looking for, by the way, the degrees, to be very honest. And the interviewer also. So sometimes PhD, the masters in like environmental management, masters in occupational, but even with PhD, imagine if you don't know how to write a policy or write a procedure, or so all these things, is kind of a lacking point. Unfortunately, that's terribly, it's happening actually, because the focus is more like on certification, right? That's why I'm
Yes.
encouraging to most of my audience and students that please have some proactive approach. And I truly appreciate you, Mashallah. Like proactively, you are getting prepared. Like you uh, brought me in and engaged me. Time is money. You snatched my time. I was giving after 2 weeks, but still you. And the moment I realized, oh my God, this gentleman is more passionate. So let's help. So this is how things work
Thank.
actually, because you were proactive. I noted your passion.
Thank you.
Now I'm sure you are getting some benefit, and you have got some encouragement. Start working on how to prepare risk assessment, how to write a policy, procedures, how to prepare a GSA industry wise. If you don't know, start searching, start getting samples, and start joining safety groups, in different WhatsApp platform or LinkedIn or even Facebook, even on Twitter now, we are talking about safety everywhere, right? So
Yes, sir.
start collaborating and get that knowledge, but form that knowledge into your own way, because every gentleman have a different leadership style. So according to your leadership style, form, get the data, and formalize your HSE plan industry wise proactively before even you go for the interview. So it will
Yes,
help
sir.
you a lot. That's what I can add value. I'm sure that
Mm.
it will give you some sort of a new thought, right?
Yes, sir.
I,
Mm.
I
Sure.
again appreciate I again appreciate your passion to be proactive. Normally people are
Thank you.
mostly reactive. I'll go to the job, I'll go to the interview, then I will, face the interview. Nobody wants to get prepared for the interview. So I like your approach, and wish
Thank
you
you.
good luck. All the best. Any question you have so far in your mind, feel free to ask. Any question
Sir,
in your mind.
I just want you to, sir, I just want you to rate my interview like
To
out
be
of
very
10.
honest, let's rate it privately in WhatsApp group, because
Yes.
self-respect is everything. Okay, so I don't want to publish on this platform, but of course in the WhatsApp, I'll. So far, it's brilliant, but the biggest
Thank you,
room in
sir.
the world is the room for further improvement, right? So still,
Yes, sir.
I'll give some insights about how you can
Yeah.
lead up with a better interview and land up with your dream job. And you deserve it, by the way. Just keep
Thank you, sir.
learning and don't wait only for the job, or you will go on the job, then you will learn. This is the perfect time to learn because you have sufficient time, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you for
all the best.
motivating.
Thank you very much. So
Yes.
I'll keep you updated through WhatsApp about my whatever
Yeah.
feedback. But so far, it's brilliant, much. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir.